energy. But they're going to ban it out themselves, which goes over now. Compass looking for their fourth. They will take out the Puck. Puck we've seen played twice today. One by Mo for Album Sheet and one by Dendy for Na'Vi, of course. He absolutely destroyed on that hero, and I think they're like, we don't want any part of that. We don't want to see any more Pucks for the day. A little too strong. As Polar looking for their fourth ban. I don't like this. I like the other name a lot. NVMI, man. But hey, it's pretty sick that Virtus Pro picked up another team there. Virtus Pro Polar.
Reserve time.
That reserve time. Both teams coming in with full time. This all started on time. Fnatic was a little late, got penalized with their drafting time. We weren't very excited about that, but yeah. I like. Oh, Twitch chat's too good. I like how Cyclops shows up for like a couple casts. He does a great job, and then like everyone is just immediately in love with him. That's caster flavor of the month right there. Not saying he doesn't deserve it, but hilarious. I love it. I will probably never be the flavor of any months, but I'll accept it. I don't really care, to be honest. But there you go. Waiting for that fourth. Virtus Pro putting a lot of time into this, and I mean it's Go Black drafting. That's a player we always talk about being like a master drafter. Go Black and Puppy, and honestly, he puts together some ridiculous stuff. So far, very, very standard. I'm hoping we get a little more diversified in these next three picks, so we can call it a Go Black draft. But hey, we'll have to wait and see. I gotta look at the standings. I don't know where either of these teams find themselves right now. Compass Gaming is in 9th place at the moment. They're currently 4-7, so stringing together some wins, they could potentially, if they win out, basically get to that top 4, but it's obviously not going to be very easy with some of the best teams in the world also playing in the Starladder Season 10 in the Europe and Russian division. And then Virtus Pro Polar, they've only played 8 games. They're 3-5. So if they start winning out, just 5 losses. There's already like Cloud9, for instance, already has 5 losses and they're in 3rd place. So again, if Polar starts winning out, they can definitely make it, but it won't be the easiest. And there it is. We get a little more Go Black into this. The Gyrocopter comes up as that 3rd pick, and I like it. It could be a 1 roll, it could go middle, and it could be a support. I think Gyrocopter is an underplayed hero currently in the metagame. I don't even like metagame as a term, honestly, but just currently underplayed a little bit. But he does really sync up with Void, like Chrono, and then you drop the call down on top of that near the end of the Chrono. Tons of slow, tons of damage. You've got, even if you're a support, decent damage from Flat Cannon. At least it'll cancel blinks in a 1000 AoE radius, which is a pretty big deal. And obviously, which is getting buffed even further as we head into 6.82. The homing missile damage is pretty good. You can get it if you're support, not so much if you're core. And then the Rocket Barrage, one of the best 1v1 spells in the game, of course. Of course. As Compass Gaming, they go with the Viper. We already saw Viper struggle in the last series, so it's not a hero that's impossible to shut down, and we'll probably see Razor and Viper go against each other in the lanes. Probably both teams looking for that matchup, as both heroes will get a decent amount of farm out of it, will both complete their mechs, and now it's Bane here for Virtus Pro Polar. Do they want to go Mirana? I would assume they do if they've picked up the Bane here. Will Compass Gaming, maybe they're just trying to bait a ban on Mirana, not something else. The mind games of drafting, man, they're hard to analyze because you never really know what everyone is thinking. It's basically just my opinion, which when it comes to drafting, honestly, isn't worth very much. But, I'll go with the Naga, so maybe both teams, like, alright, are we going to let the Mirana go through? I think this is what it's coming down to right now. The arrow that's set up by the net with Naga, and the arrow set up by the Nightmare with Bane. Like, who's going to budge? It's a game of chicken on who bans Mirana. More so on, it's more so on Compass Gaming, because Virtus Pro is going to have the first pick in the last phase of picking.
5 seconds remaining.
I also think Mirana Bane is better than, I don't know.
5 seconds
It's close. They will ban Dazzle.
Dire team ban.
I think we just sit in silence and we wait.
Radiant team pick.
What? They banned Io? Maybe they've seen something, I don't know. Maybe they scrim each other, or they've just been playing a lot. I obviously can't watch all Dota. Kind of ridiculous. I'm pretty much busy casting it and then doing other stuff and then sleeping to wake up early and cast it. So, yeah, I don't know. They banned IO. Interesting. I guess IO Gyro could be kind of annoying. Oh, okay, of course. They will go Treant Protector. Go Black's signature hero until I think PPD stole it away from him, honestly. Well, it's still his signature hero, but PPD was like, damn, Treant's a good hero. Which I guess Go Black was the first person to do that with the Living Armor, and then later on PPD did it with, of course, the Leech Seed, really showing how powerful that was, and even the early points in Nature's guys. We'll see how Go Black wants to skill it up this game. So that's their 5th pick. Honestly, not what I expected. Like, not even a little bit. I expected Mirana to come out, and now I feel like a fool. Come on, Compass. They go Morphling! Wow, they're doubling down on the sea creatures. I was completely wrong. I felt the tension. Mirana wanted to be picked. Maybe she was already banned and I just don't know what I'm talking about. Could be a possibility. I definitely don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know if she was banned or not, though. As I will switch the overlays, don't panic. Crash. I like Compass Gaming's logo. Pretty sick. It's from some anime thing I know nothing about. I think actually, isn't like Compass like a distributor of manga or something? Now I'm just straight making stuff up, but that seems reasonable. It's also in Indonesia leading in This is really good English. Okay, yeah, it's not that. But apparently it's some Indonesian news sites. It's a newspaper. Live streaming, I think that's probably more of what it's about. Travel agency, that's a pretty good name for a travel agency. Is that a compass? Yeah, you think that would be a compass and not a clock on her chest there. Yeah, I don't know what it is. We'll go with travel agency, that seems reasonable. I don't know, well, it actually seems smart to host a Dota team, because then you could book them through your travel agents when they travel to lands. It's a wise business decision here from KPG. As finally we're on pause, sorry. Solo casting, you can get a bit crazy and just talk about random stuff, because that's all you have. Gorak, though, is going to be playing the Nature's Prophet here for KPG. Goddamn is going to be playing on the Naga Siren. And Morphling, already morphing over to all agility here, is going to be played by Artes, or Artes, I don't know. We've got Feast, Solo Mecco, got to cast this guy a lot back in the day of NEL and EEL, those in-house leagues. Put together by IX Mike, and of course FO Ninja, gonna be playing on the Viper. It looks like he will be going into the middle lane. Got a Wraith Band, got some tangos up, chimes out the good luck. He doesn't want anyone to have fun. He's just wishing them good luck. They don't need it. They're lucky they're playing over here. We've got Go Block on the Treant Protector. We've got Gyrocopter going to be played by Illidan right now, so we'll pay close attention to his skill build. He builds strange things. We've got Little going to be playing on the Bane right now. Razor handled by Scandal. Void going to be played by DK Phobos. And yeah, back to Little on the Bane. That's VPpolar, formerly NVMI, or we're lucky we're playing. They're going to be on the Radiant side. And let's take a look at the wards to start things off. One drop down there on the bottom turtle. And still holding on to one is Little. Looking over at the Dire, that's the wrong key. Looking at Dire Vision, we've got this ward up here in that safe lane, looking to scout out if there's any rotations up. Keep that carry safe, and of course that high cliff down there in the bottom rune spawn for the Dire. So decent vision right now. It looks to be mirrored once Little drops another ward here, but let's see if there's any sentries up. Sentries on Sky? No. Sentries on the Minaga? Yes. So they will look to D-ward. They've dropped one already. She wants to check the high ground right now. Trying to D-ward early on, but actually we'll see Go Black instead. Never even peeked up the high ground, so doesn't know if there's a ward there or not. We'll see if she sticks around. Obviously there isn't a ward there, but we'll see. Okay, it doesn't matter anyways. Go Black's gonna find the sentry. So now she thinks there's a ward there, so this is kind of interesting. Or I would think there's a ward there. Yeah, she even pings it out. If Go Black is gonna drop a sentry, he thinks, or the other team thinks they're protecting a ward that's there, but isn't, so it's kind of nice. It gives Virtus Pro like cover. No one's gonna gank that way, and if they do, it'll smoke because they think there's a ward, and there's not. Also, they won't realize that another ward is gonna be placed elsewhere by Little, still holding on to it in his inventory. He puts it down. Yeah, all right. So they don't realize that this is warded then, as they're gonna realize he had it in his inventory still, and they know he dropped it up there, looking for that tri-lane vision. Regen bottom, by the way, guys. And the bottom lane, it's gonna be Void versus Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet's gonna win out in this lane for a little while, but faces Void after a couple skills up in that bash and time walk. He gets really, really strong. can easily take down the Nature's Prophet if he doesn't TP out, maybe pending some RNG bashes. And this is when you'd like to have a Mirana. Like, why not? That would have been a kill. It's going to be a kill anyway, actually, with that Leech Seed coming out. Lots of damage. Illidan just needs to go ahead and right-click because he doesn't yet have Rocket Barrage. Now he's got it. Looking 8 more seconds on Leech Seed, not able to slow anyone down. And that's a good combo. It's obviously not as guaranteed as, you know, the Nightmare into the Arrow in terms of damage, but the Leech Seed comes out. It's a slow. It allows you to chase because it's also healing you as you follow along into, you know, enemy territory. And now that Rocket Barrage is skilled up, they need to be very, very careful on the side of KPG to not just die repeatedly. This is a very, very potent, aggressive tri-lane. Honestly, a very interesting defensive tri-lane. Like, Naga's okay defensively. She's got the Ensnare and the Riptide, which can, you know, get people away. She's got decent armor as a support with 6. She has agility after all. Same thing, 4 armor on the Morphling, but it's mostly magic damage they've got to worry about for now. Later on, all this armor is going to be nice, because Flak Cannon's going to hurt, but for right now, like, the Rocket Barrage and the Leech Seed is enough to kill any single person right now, except maybe Affinage, depending on what he wants to build. Skill-wise, because currently he's got no points in Corrosive Skin, and we saw what happens when you don't put any points in Corrosive Skin sometimes. Not as big of a deal against Razor as it is against the Puck, because against Razor there's not too much magic damage, you just gotta be able to get away from the static link. We'll see how that works out. How is it working out? 5. Ooh, not very well. Affinage, 6 and 5 on the Viper, 11 and 7 here on Scandal's Razor, and then up top, 17 and 0, Illidan Stormrage. I like how he still has that name, it's great. His Warcraft 3 characters. Eventually, I feel like someone's going to force him to change that, unfortunately. Here we go, looking to get the kill. There's a lot of damage coming out from that waveform, level 1. Now morphing over to strength. It's almost not quite fast enough. RT's almost goes down. Illidan getting pretty low as well. Same thing goes for Little, but they got some tangos. They got a wand up with 7 charges right now. As we peer to the bottom lane, Gorak 15 and 1. We've got DK Phobos 16 and 3. Yeah, so this lane's going very, very even, and we'll see what they want to try to build out. We already see the Null Talismans starting to be built by Gorak, so we'll probably see that again. And Phobos looking for boots, probably. Boots into a Mask of Madness, pretty much the standard Void stuff. Alright. See that Wraith Band. It looks like both of these guys with the Wraith Bands early on, just trying to contest the lane. Obviously working out a little bit better for the Razor. Alpha Ninja did get about a full creep wave though. But now Scandal just playing aggressive. That Corrosive Skin is skilled up here. And he's forced off the lane. 84 damage drained. Scandal gonna look towards that Aquila. We'll see if he goes phase treads, if he wants to get a drums as well. It looks like he will be going phase, and of course both those guys are gonna build up into that mechanism. It's more up in the air of what Illidan's gonna want to go for. If he wants to get drums, if he wants to just go straight into damage like a Yasha or something, or even maybe something really weird like Shadowblade or an Ags or who knows. And he's gonna Nightmare himself to dodge that damage. He needs to get the Brain Sap out. This is Little buying a lot of space, but not gonna be enough. He will still fall. And yeah, KPG with a couple levels. 2 levels in that waveform, and that's a lot of damage that comes out. AoE damage as well. Can hit all the targets with that. So if KPG gets on the board, it's now 1-1. The last game of the day here, Starladder Season 10. If you haven't already, check out the ticket in the store. Comes with that compendium. It's pretty sick. Tiny set. I hear it's also pretty nice. It's pretty nice. So make sure to purchase that up. 5 minutes in. That regen rune, no rune play at all. Like, the middle lane's just been so contested in terms of farming and getting the last hits. No one has even bothered to go for a rune. That regen has been sitting there 4 days. Neither of these heroes really go for bust each other, so, well, there you go. No bottles this game. But have any of the offlaners gone for one? Nature's Prophet, of course, not going to really do that. Phobos as well, and the Void not going to go for it. So it's going to be a game not really hinging on rune control so much in the early game, and their Alpha Ninja is going to go ahead and find that regen, heal up a bit, but he's losing some experience and some farm for that. 2 categories in which he's already trailing quite significantly. Maybe not as much in experience. He's about to be level 5, or yeah, almost a whole level. As up top, VP, they want to continue to get more aggressive here, or VPpolar, I should say. I don't want to mislead you guys. The B team, the secondary team, maybe this is the A team, I don't know, of Virtus Pro here. Formerly NVMI. those early wards about to start running out here, so we'll see what team likes to ward up first. This one is going to last a little bit longer. It's put up later, and they go on to Illidan, and they bring him down almost immediately. Now they're going to try to go on Little. They don't have another stun here, and actually, did they use the concussive blast? They did, but he nightmares himself, so he'll keep himself around. I don't know if that was the smartest. He probably wasn't going to be able to outrun either, but now Nature's Prophet TV's up. Tree on tree action right now. Close your eyes. Some people are too young for this. Gorak picking up the double kill. And let's see, 20 mana away from spawning some trees if they want to go ahead and push in on this. VP's lane has started off fantastic, but it's now falling apart a little bit. And of course, Gorak can always get involved up here, making it 4 versus 3. Viper, the only one really suffering right now in KPG. Scandal, though, doing great in his lane. He's got the Wraith Band up. He's already got the Phase Boots as he looks towards his next big item of choice. Should be the mech. Phobos actually starting to beat out the Nature's Prophet in lane, so he's doing pretty well. And even going to get some great free farm here since the Nature's Prophet left to go elsewhere. He's already got Boots of Speed, Orb of Venom, and another about 1,000 gold. He's the most farmed on the map, 46 and 6. 7 minutes in terms of net worth, it's still Illidan up front, so that lane is, you know, they lose out on some, I guess, maybe extra experience by getting hero kills, but he's still farming great. I believe he got that early first blood, so 3.1k net worth on the gyrocopter, tied basically with that Nature's Prophet. And both, yeah, the Razor and the Void are both doing exceptionally well. About 2.5k net worth, but it's a little early for the net worth graph, so we'll save on that. Here comes out a long range net as well as the slow. Tons of damage. They need to get that heal off if they can. Is it going to be enough to just keep them alive? No, it's not. With that armor reduction and the big damage coming out from the Riptide. Even maxing Ensnare, Artes is going to go down to the Chrono, of course, from Phobos, which has been fantastic. He dropped it onto 3, and then he's going to get another bash there. A Nightmare to hold goddamn in place, and the Leech Seed goes out. That was a long-ass Leech Seed. They should be able to chase him down. Going to get bashed as soon as he throws the net. Has one more Riptide to just be annoying, and will use it, but will also fall, and that can turn around pretty much completely. Razor in the middle lane. Oh, having a bit of a dive there. He will even kill the Viper, but he gets traded out as Gorak TPs in. Will get the kill there. He's going for the Null Talisman and getting pretty close to that Blade Mail, that cheap damage. It's very gold efficient damage, but it's very slot inefficient because you only have 6 slots, right? You can get as much gold as you can get, but only 6 slots. You're filling it with early stat items like Null Tallies that are very, again, cost effective, and of course, as an intelligence hero, Blade Mail is like 2,000 gold and it gives you 32 damage and a pretty sick active and a lot of armor, so is quite good. Even some, yeah, obviously some intelligence since he's an intelligence hero. I think it's 22 damage, 10 intelligence. It's nice. And we see this build coming out a lot. Funnick used it earlier to great effect, and we're going to see Gorak use it now. It's not always the best, but it's pretty good. I've seen Ice 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 not do so well with it, personally. Got to cast a game where Ice went 2 and 14 with his Nature's Prophet, sort of with this new school build. Didn't work out very well, but clearly teams have been having a lot of success with it. Like the Nature's Prophet, like completely differently. A hero that really hasn't been touched much in terms of balances and patches, but always seems to rediscover himself in the meta, and I love it. Always something new that Nature's Prophet is doing to keep himself relevant. I guess just the affinity for the hero, people really like him, and you know the global presence is always pretty nice. Like that's a good spell. You can't really nerf that without just delete. If you change teleport, you might as well just delete the hero, which hopefully they never do. Well, I don't always feel like that, but yeah, I don't feel like that when I'm playing. I feel like that when I'm casting. The Blade Mail's finished up. See what Illidan is going for. He's again doing well. He's got the Phase, he's got the Aquila. We'll switch over to net worth now. It's Nature's Prophet, Gorak out front, 4.7k. Illidan next in line at 3.6. The Void at 3.5, and the Razor, played by Scandal, at 3.1. Yeah, Alpha Ninja falling a little bit behind, trying to get up his mech here pretty soon. Up top, looks like the push is coming in. Gorak TP's back up. Wrath of Nature online if they do get into a bit of a tussle. Reap Wave is going to be skipped there by one of those treants, and the first tower to fall will be here in the top lane. As Viper narrowly escaping with that haste. It was about to go down, but grabs the haste. Gets away. Fortify will go out, just slowing him down a little bit, honestly. Don't know if it was too worth using there because VPpolar will probably find themselves hitting another tower in the next 5 minutes. But it keeps them in the lane a little bit longer, and it looks like Polar want to rotate over and try to stop this, try to get a team fight. And I'm surprised that KPG are even sticking around. Like, they don't see anybody. Let's look at their vision right now. They see nobody. I think they see Illidan. Oh, they saw that smoke. They definitely saw that smoke. I saw that smoke. I think they saw it too. And here comes DK Phobos. He's going to go in. He will get the man of the hour. The sleep, though, goes out. They don't get the Naga. She's already level 6. That sleeps up Phobos. That stops the Chronosphere. And the Naga is going to be a key element to stopping those devastating Chronospheres. Not going to matter as much when Void has a BKB later on. And he just BKBs up and then drops the Chronos. But for now, enough to stop him in his tracks. That I think the second Chrono of the game, not a very effective one, and he will go now on to Gorak. Gorak's gonna blade mail up. Phobos doesn't really care too much about this, willing to trade out that damage. He's got backtrack after all. Gets another bash here. Gorak trying to sprout up so he can TP away, eating through that, but there's too many trees in his path, and he will not be able to get through. Already got that bash. It was gonna be pretty unlikely that he was gonna get another at just that 20% chance. But it's 6-5 for KPG right now at just under 12 minutes. They're leading by 1,000 golds, and they're trailing by 250 experience. So, anybody's game at this point, and a lot of late game potential on both sides. You got, of course, the Morphling, ridiculous right-click carry. Also, you can go for that shotgun build. Potential for the Naga Siren to even get big. Obviously, we'll never have a Radiance this game, but support Nagas are pretty terrifying. Viper does alright in the late game, although this Viper is pretty far behind. If maybe they get another tower, he'll finish that mech up just a minute or two late. But then again, never count out the late game of a Faceless Void, of a Gyrocopter, and a Razor. Both sides looking pretty good. Hard to really tell without the game, going a little bit more forward, who's going to have the edge when you get into the late game. They really want this tower. They're going for the tier 2 and the off lane. I mean, these aren't very important towers in terms of the map control that they give for the Radiant side, but of course, they're still money. They're still gold, and, well, they are nerfing tower gold come 6.82. People feel that the incentive to push is just a little too high, and they need to slow it down. A nice Nightmare there is going to allow Little to survive through that, but an Arcane Bolt in the Silence, it will actually survive, and Artez, Fiend's Grip, everything trying to bring him down as he is still morphing the strength inside of that Chrono. Can they find anybody else? Gorak trying to TP out. They've got nothing to stop it. But they do kill the Morphling, so they slow him down a little bit. They save their tower, but it's not long for this world. It's pretty low. And bottom lane, Nature's Prophet Gorak is already TP'd down there. It's already pushing into that. And it's about a fifth HP, maybe a quarter, whatever you want to do. Fractions. I'll let you pick your own. Doesn't have to be simplified. Scandal now about 500 gold away from his mech. Mech timing is going to be done, but Alpha Ninja, as you can see, stays on level 1 boots, so spend a little bit less money. Illidan is in some trouble. That Blade Mail is taking a lot of damage. He can't turn off that Rocket Barrage, and he will fall, so you generally don't see the Blade Mail. That was like a key example of why Blade Mail is good. You generally don't see it work like that, but a spell that does a lot of damage that you can't turn off, and Blade Mail, pretty good combo. Nature's Prophet picking up an easy kill there, or actually, who got it? Yeah, it was Nature's Prophet that got the kill on Illidan, and pretty much the whole team is going to go bottom and look to push out. Let's not forget, there's a Treant level 3 living armor trying to heal up these towers, but it's not quite enough. They've already lost that one top, and, well, from the looks of things, this one in the bottom lane isn't going to be staying around too much longer. You can see all 4 heroes here, or KPG. These guys have gotten really good. The first time I cast them, I was kind of like, meh, and that was like a year ago, if not more. But dang, nowadays, they're looking pretty solid. I mean, NVMI is nothing to sneeze at. Like, they're a solid team. They did really well at the Game Show League finals there over in, I think they're in Moscow. Been doing well in other events. KPG, though, of course, pretty much doing the same thing. Doing well all over as that sort of tier 2, tier 1.5 team emerging in the scene. Maybe already have a sponsor. I have no idea what Compass actually is. We had that discussion earlier. We won't repeat it, but look at this. You've got a double damage. You've got a Nature's Prophet. Let's go ahead and do, let's do Roshan. You got the Lay of the Peacebringer. That was like the first Dota item I ever got. Bit of trivia there as Scandal is going to try to stop this party. Throws out the Plasma Field. Everyone will back off. There's a Viper Strike there. Not a lot of range right now, though, without that Ags. The Ags, puts it out to, like, here. Very far from that. Probably will be the next item after maybe Phase Boots. And they go for the Morphling once more. Can they get him in time? He's morphing, but the sleep goes out! The sleep from goddamn! And that's so annoying. DK Phobos not able to get the kill there. They did throw the Fiend's Grip on it at least, and it should maybe be enough to force the Morphling back. No, he wants to rejoin in the fight here, but Scandal needs to link on to somebody. He links on to Alpha Ninja. Alpha Ninja still on boots 1. He throws the Viper Strike. He still can't run. Scandal needs to attack some things. The mech going to keep him up a little bit longer. He's stolen 200 damage. But he's not really clicking anything, and actually he ends up clicking on Gorak, and he just takes the damage right back from the Blade Mail, and Gorak's going to find another. Some more tree-on-tree action. Close your eyes, young little saplings. I'm mature enough for that.
Radiant's middle tower.
The tree ants can't watch. They can't bear to watch that. As tier 1 tower in the middle lane now looks to be going down. Little stumpies too, man. They weren't ready for that. They weren't ready to grow up that fast. They sure attack pretty strange. Hello, tower. I'm really glad nothing happened in that time we were still in showcase mode. Nature's Prophet continuing to lead the net worth charts there, 8.5k. He's got that Blade Mail, he's got the Maelstrom. He only went for the 2 null tallies. And, well, he's got 1,400 in the bank and should be putting that towards, I would say, a Blink Dagger is generally what you go for there. Could also maybe be a Force Staff. Could maybe even be a Shadow Blade. You can build a lot of items. They want to make this Roshan happen, but Illidan's not going to let it happen. He doesn't put any points in the Homing Missile, which is standard for, you know, the core Gyrocopter. He's maxed out now Flak Cannon and Rocket Barrage, so he can catch up very, very quickly with this farm. They're actually even going to go in on this. They've got Phobos, and that's the Chrono potential. Goddamn's going to walk in, though. No sleep right now. They go straight onto Illidan. This is a great position to drop that call down onto everybody. Phobos. Beautiful Chronosphere. So they force KPG to fight them over this Roche, and well, it goes terribly for KPG right now. They lose 3 almost immediately there. And Morphling, he's looking to do it. He doesn't have a replicate up. Okay, he's going to spawn one now. It's going to spawn on the Bane. He will be nightmared there, and he goes and he tries to seal it, but he will not be able to get it. He will at least pop the Aegis immediately. So Illidan got the Aegis, he died, and now they're going for Gorak right now. He has a TP available, but he's hightailing it out of there, and Scandal and team are not going to look to chase. And with that sort of engagement around the Roshan pit, it works out amazing here for VPpolar. They're almost even in kills right now, trailing by 1. They took Roche off the board, and now they're bringing the graphs back from a brink of, well, a potential big lead for KPG down to 5,000 gold and going back towards equilibrium, towards VP. And look at that XP swing, about 3,500 XP swing in just about a minute, as Illidan now finds himself up some big stacks. He'll even drop his call down on it, as we just got the poor giant wolf, man. They took his family away. It's like Taken. This is the Liam Neeson wolf. Or not. He's like, this tree, man, it smells so good. Ursa's been wiping honey on these trees, and I just can't stop smelling it. Got some candles to set the mood as I just sniff this tree. Nice. Does he regen HP? Very curious. No. Yes. Doesn't list it, though. About 1.5, maybe 0.3. Anyways. Back to serious mode. Serious mode equates to silence, by the way. I just can't be serious. We've got Illidan still farming up. He's got the Helm of the Dominator. That's maybe where the Alpha Wolf went. That's why it's not there with the Tree Smeller. A lot of trees this game. Maybe he wants to take a whiff of Tree and Protector. Tree Protector does have that early point in Nature's Sky, so we could scout out here Gorak. Gorak does go for that Blink Dagger as anticipated. We got the Treads, we got the Ultimate Orb, and a Hand of Midas. Did not even point out the Hand of Midas. I should have. Here on Morphling. 7.5k. He's second in net worth. It's Nature's Prophet, of course, still pushing that net worth limit, similar to what Funnick did in the Navi versus Fnatic game that we just watched. Spoiler alert, guys. There's going to be another Maelstrom coming out. So you got Lightning on your team in the side of the Razor. And there's this Nature's Guys. Oh no, that's actually Illidan! I thought maybe that was going to be a Treant just scouting with Nature's Guys. He gets a little far ahead of himself. And here, oh, the Nature's Guys will put him in Viz and Overgrowth to keep him around. And Lil, wow, they're really going to turn this quite effectively, actually. A lot of people on low HP still getting healed up here, but the Strength Morph is a little too much. Homing Missile going out. The Mystic Flare going to land on him, and Gorak TP's in on behind. And he's got a Sprout. He will land it. That looked to be a blind Sprout, but here comes Phobos. He drops the Chrono, trying to get Fisalo Mech, but now the Song of the Siren goes off. It stops everything. Another Chrono wasted. It's just too good of a pick here against this Void. I'm surprised the Naga, I mean, I know it's been being picked up as a support recently, but I'm surprised it didn't even re-emerge at TI4. It seems like such a good answer to stopping what the Void can bring out, but more so as a support, right? Because if it's a core, Void is just going to focus it and kill it. Well, maybe. It's got a lot of armor. You can tank up with some ultimate orbs or Sanj, as we see that goddamn has picked up. But if it's a core, you definitely want to jump on it. It's everyone's kill list priority. If it's support, you're kind of like, well, if we jump on the support, sure, we kill that. But now we've wasted our ultimate, we got to deal with core heroes. So, like, Naga Siren forces out some tough decision-making. And, well, as a support that's done so well, already level 11 right now. Look at this. Level 11 on the Naga. Level 9, which is okay on the Skywrath mage, but 8 and 8. Okay, now just hitting 9 and 8 on the Bane and the Treant. You can see the supports of Polar are really, really far behind. And even though they were just leading in XP, now it's another 5,000 shift the other way. It's the supports that are suffering the most, which, yeah, you can see that it's Void and Razor that have the better lanes. That's the only reason that VPpolar can even contest sort of the experience difference in this game. And as for gold, getting harder and harder to contest. Even that team fight didn't move the gold graph too much, and already it's like maybe 6,000-7,000 gold advantage again for KPG. Obviously with that Nature's Prophet and the Morphling. Morphling looking for that first big item. It won't just be a Lincoln's. He's about 300 gold away from the Perseverance coming up. And then obviously another 1,000 and a couple hundred more, he'll have that Lincoln Sphere finished. But already, like, are you kidding me? This Naga Siren also sitting at 5.8k net worth, already with the Heaven's Halberd. Like, peace, Void, you already can't chrono, and now even if you do and Naga's not in it and she doesn't have her sleep, she'll just Heaven's Halberd you. Like, Void, he needs a BKB as his next item. He honestly needs it now. Could have even got it before the Maelstrom. Like, Twitch chat likes that I threw out the spoiler alert after the spoiler. You gotta anticipate, man. Come on. It's your fault, not mine. Also, it's a live broadcast. We're allowed to talk about previous results of the day. Just waiting in the wings. Who are they protecting? Still going to be Gorak. Gorak is, of course, very high on the kill list. He's 5-0 and 6. Involved in 11 to 14 kills. Hasn't even taken a death. Honestly, the guy hasn't even taken that much damage. Illidan and Goblack still farming up sort of in the vicinity, but being very careful. Let's look at the dire vision. One aggressive ward. That's it. I could deal with KPG putting down some more aggressive wards. Actually, Artest is going to be caught in the top lane. Phobos bringing him down. Scandal taking a lot of damage. This is a dangerous fight to run into right now. Scandal's taking a lot, but the sleep will go out. Goddamn, going to save just about everybody. They're even going to continue to fight. They need to kill Scandal immediately. Yeah, he'll just start to TP, so not even able to fight as he tries to flee. I don't know. I mean, it's 5 versus 2, so what are you really going to do? But fighting seemed like the better option because you weren't getting out of that with the TP. Too much damage. He gets brought down. Void also falls. So a good engagement trying to, you know, just find a pickoff. And again, they can't do it. The tier 1 still exists. The tier 1 in the bottom lane still exists. There's just too much map control right now for KPG. And, well, the map control's starting to fall. They've only got 1 tower left. The map control's already gone. 1 tower left. That being said, slightly better wards for the Radiant. They at least got a rune. They're at least in this lane. They need some more defensive wards, and as they need more defensive wards, I think KPG needs some more aggressive wards if we want to talk that warding action right now. As full Mjolnir coming out now for the Nature's Prophet. This guy is going to be strong. Clear creeps out like a boss. He goes straight onto Illidan. He pops up. Look at this. How defensive that is. The Lightning Shield and the Blade Mail right onto Illidan. He's taking tower hits. He won't even get out of there. He will die, I think, in base. Did he die in base? No, not quite. And they also will bring down Goblack. The poor tree didn't even have a chance, really. It's KPG pretty much doubling 2-to-1 on the kill ratio as Little maybe finds Artest, but he just got the Lincolns delivered. That would have been really unfortunate if he threw a Fiend's Grip on top of that Lincoln. So the Lincolns is there with a Midas. We're only at 24 minutes. He's doing pretty well. 132 CS, 149 on Gyro, and 158 on Nature's Prophet. But the net worth is not quite the same. With all the tower gold, it's Nature's Prophet way out front along with the Morphling, and now even the Viper, who had not the best middle lane. Well, he did better than the Viper for Fnatic did, but still not the best middle lane that he would have hoped for. But now, because of winning these team fights and getting these towers, all outer towers have now fallen. Viper is up there in 3rd of the net worth. And looking at the graphs, way ahead right now. 14,000 gold, 10,000 experience. KPG, game looking somewhat in the bag, but it's always hard to end a game against a Void and a Gyro when you got to go high ground. So we'll see what happens when KPG is forced to make that choice as Gorak. That's the first death. The tree's going to give it to him.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Oh, the family's reunited.
Dire's structures are fortified.
you know, just phasing towards each other. They need to, I think they need to fix the neutrals like stance and loadout positions. It looks a little broken sometimes. Well, especially when you zoom in on it like this. Also, stacking looks really weird. I don't know if there's a way to better visualize stacking or whatnot. Kind of weird though. But oh well. Discussion for another day. Doesn't really matter. It's just a aesthetically pleasing change. Nothing gameplay. Ags, alright, so the Ags comes out for Scandal. That gives the better potential for pushing after the team fights. They've only taken one tier 1 tower, that's it. They trailed like 8 kills. Almost insurmountable at this point. Not that big of a gold lead, but it's a lot at 26 minutes. I'll say insurmountable to build the hype, I guess. The gem comes out though for little. They want to take out some of these aggressive wards. They're going to find one almost immediately. This ward just running out. Pretty much in the same place. Just, you know, they watch people rotating through here and there a little bit, but I'd like to see the wards maybe down here, watching anyone trying to use the jungle, because that's where Illidan has been spending a lot of time. Even a ward here would be pretty good. Watching people go to the secret shop and farm the lanes, be defensive, that'd be good right now. Obviously this one was perfect, but now that the gem is out, you can't really put the wards in obvious places. Even this is a little too obvious. Someone's bound to walk over there. But also a good ward for this point in the game. Just looking to drop the wards and keep people locked in the base. This is going to be a ward spot soon. I'm actually pretty pumped. Come 6 points, 8-2. Too bad you can't walk over it. It seems so useless, but it would be funny if you could walk up there. They didn't change that in 6.82, or at least it didn't look like it. But here we go, the Roshan attempt. They got the Treants, people in the pit, Polar. They can't even come out to contest. It actually looks like they found Gorak and are maybe trying to bring him down, but they will kill the Roshan, and Morphling's gonna pick up the Aegis. Gorak's trying to, why is he even leaving? Yeah, it's just like messing around. His whole team is there. Void's gonna jump in, but the sleep is gonna be there almost immediately to stop it. Bloop. Stopped it. And Void is gonna die. Should die anyways. Getting very close to BKB. This will set him back a little bit. He actually purchased up the recipe before dying, so good sense. Doesn't lose much gold at all on that death. Only about 10 gold he lost. Now with that 9 kill advantage right now though, KPG looking really, really good, trying to break into that high ground. The lightning shield used maybe a little early there, but it's not the longest cooldown. Comes off in 15, should be ready for the high ground. There's no buyback for 30, so the only thing really to defend right now is the plasma field on the Razor, and, well, of course, the annoying spells of Gyro, the Flat Cannon, the Call Down. Pretty low cooldowns each, but let's see. Viper Strike will go out. That Axe is finished. Here's the Call Down looking to clear out the Treants and the Creep Wave, so that's been used up now. Flat Cannon has been used up, so this next Creep Wave, in between the cooldowns of those spells, is going to be the one where they want to sort of jump on this. And Gorak is back, looking to spawn up some trees, see what they can do. They've already used the Sleep, so they don't have that available to disengage, and the fact that Void is back, but no Chrono, he's kind of just like a purple creep at the moment. They're going to go in for the high ground. They want to get this tower. Fortify is available for Polar right now. It's Gorak that just jumps in really, really far. The net into the Mystic Flare. Nightmare keeps him alive a little bit longer, but he's still going to fall. Gorak reflecting back a bunch of damage. The Lightning Shield is also doing its work. Its due diligence, as Illidan will eventually bring him down. A good Sprout, though. It's a double kill for Fee Solo. Mako getting all the kills here. Illidan's also going to drop. He's got buyback. It's going to be forced out immediately. Razor and Bane do not. Artes still has an Aegis of the Immortal. Fortify will go out. I think they're sticking around for this tier 3 tower. Maybe some more. Maybe they go straight over to this range rack. So the tier 3 is down. They're looking for the range. DK is going to jump in, and yeah, Phobos did have the Chronosphere available. Did he even get anybody? He got the hard illusion of the Viper. He focused and illusion with that Chrono. Gorak gets a double kill. Phobos dies here. The GG comes out. Yeah, there's no coming back from that. I mean, you couldn't really know which Viper is real. It's really hard, but he picked the wrong one. Even if he had killed the real one, it wouldn't have mattered, and that's the GG. KPG, man, that was good. That was a good game. I enjoyed it. Sorry, I was scrolling through the chat. I don't know why. That seems like insanity. But either way, KPG. Some people are going to be upset. I don't think the bets were probably pretty in favor of VPpolar. I would assume. We'll have to look at what everyone says. But whatever. I don't even want to look. KPG. I'm really excited to see them coming along. Fisolo Meko, of course, a good player. I've cast a lot in those in-house leagues, so good to see him on a team. He's been on this team for a while. He's doing a great job. Goddamn on the Nagra sign with those ultimates that were, well, very goddamn annoying. Good job, good play from the Naga, but it's Gorak all the way. I mean, not the easiest lane, honestly. Faceless Void versus Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet was losing the lane after a couple of levels. Faceless Void's really, really strong, especially with the Orb of Venom, but just the rotations, the play, finding the farm, building the right items, 10, 2, and 11 on the Nature's Prophet. Gorak with the MVP, and Alpha Ninja, like, you lose the mid lane sometimes, it sucks, but you don't give up, you don't flame your teammates if it's a pub, you just keep playing and you keep trying to play as a team, and you win the game. 1, 2, and 13. His KDA is honestly even fantastic. What does he end with? 7 right there? That's his KDA. It's pretty high. It's above average, that's for sure. But either way, that's Starladder Season 10 for the day. Make sure to buy those tickets. Make sure to follow the Twitch channel here. Follow BTS on Twitter as well at Beyond the Summit. You can follow me. I'm Helium. You can follow me on Twitter and Twitch at HeliumBrella. And of course, earlier, the first 3 games of the day, we had Hippie on board. He hasn't been casting in a while, but it was good to have him back. You can follow Hippie. Let him know what you thought at Hippie Casting.